Are getting ready for the spring market, and I thought it would be a great time to talk about what responsibilities a seller has before their property is shown versus the responsibilities of the agent. And here you go. And also some things that you could do if you're just a little bit, as the kids say, extra. So seller responsibilities when prepping for your house to be shown. Number one, so important, is to remove or lock up any medications, valuables, money, or firearms. This is super important. I don't think I have to get into why, but we always prefer that you remove them from the home. If not, lock them up in a place where they're not going, it's just not going to be seen. Remember that buyers are opening up your kitchen cabinets because they want to see how much space. They're opening up your closets. They're going in your basement. They're looking in cubbies. So that's why it's better to just remove anything if it's possible. Another seller responsibility is to take out the trash. We talked about this yesterday. We don't want a stinky house. Make sure the house is clean and in showing condition. Now, I know a lot of my former clients that might be watching this know that I will go in and I will straighten things up ahead of time, especially if it's like one of those last minute showings and you're not home and you're like, yeah, but I know I left the laundry on the bed or whatever. Most of your agents will go in and do that for you. But if you're home, make sure the house is clean and in showing condition. And especially up here in the Northeast, if it is a showing at night, or if it's in December at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, make sure that the outdoor lights are on. Make sure any shoveling has been done and there's sand and salt down. We certainly want to try to avoid any accidents or mishaps that way. So agent responsibilities. And this is something I do need to point out, is that a lot of agents don't attend their showings on their listings at all. I am an agent that does, so when I'm talking about agent responsibilities, I'm literally talking about what I do before I go to my showings. If you're hiring an agent to sell your house, make sure that you know if they're going to be there for the showings or not. And I'm not saying either way is the right way or bad, just so you know what to expect, what they're going to be doing. So for me, I arrive early, turn on all the lights. If it's daytime, I open up the blinds and the curtains. We want to try to get as much natural light in there. Bring all appropriate materials for showing. So especially if it's winter, we bring shoe covers, or we make sure that buyers are taking off their shoes. Bring the disclosures, bring any plot plans, anything that's pertinent to the property that we know we bring with us. At the end of the showing, make sure the house is completely secure. So I know I personally go through and I check the basement door, any exterior doors. If any windows were opened or anything, we just make sure that was taken care of. And we want to make sure that the house was in the same condition as it was left. So if the seller left on the light in the foyer, I always make sure the light in the foyer is left on, that kind of stuff. Also really important, what I do is I relay the feedback to the seller about the showing immediately. So when I'm locking your door, because I'm there, I am texting you, calling you, emailing you, whatever your communication preference is, and telling you, hey, here's how I felt, here's what was said, blah, blah, blah. It's funny, my sellers know this, but I usually come up with little nicknames because sometimes we have a lot of showings, so I'll nickname the buyers so that we can keep the people straight. And it's just funny when I present offers, sometimes they're like, oh, are these the hiker people, or are these the crunchy people, whatever. It's kind of funny. But then I also provide further feedback later on after the buyer agent contacts me to provide feedback if they do. So if you want to be extra and you are a seller and you are just the go above and beyond type, here are a few things that you can do to get your house ready. Bake cookies. Bake bread, anything like that gets the house smelling delicious. If it's summertime, make some margaritas, whatever. A fire in the fireplace. So if you're coming right back, obviously we're not leaving fires unattended. If it's a gas fireplace, I always switch it on anyway if it's the appropriate season. If you have an outdoor space that is done up, so hardscaping and whatnot, I love to, have if you have a fire pit, let's say this time of year with the string lights above it, turn the lights on, get a fire going in the fire pit, stage some marshmallows, tell me to bring some marshmallows, I'll stage marshmallows. Anything to bring that little feeling, to create a little scene, really helps. If it's summertime and you have a pool, make sure your pool is clean, throw a couple of floats in there, that kind of thing. I love seeing the outdoor spaces staged. And again, that's a totally extra thing, not necessary, but it makes a difference. Fresh flowers, I know I did that when I was selling my house. I made sure I had these little vases that I got from one of my clients of fresh flowers throughout my house. And music playing. Sometimes like houses are just so quiet. Walking through the house, we're all walking through the house in silence, it can be a little weird. So if you've got speakers or something like that, or you've got the TVs that play music, it's extra, but put some music on for people to listen to. So that is what I have for you today. My videos, I really try to make them quick, informative, and helpful for you as whether you're exchanging real estate now or in the future. I just want you to get as much money as humanly possible if you're a seller, and give you some tips and tricks to maybe save a few bucks if you're a buyer. If you think we'd be a good fit and you're looking to buy or sell, please feel free to reach out.